Ignition sequence start.
Astronauts to the moon.
Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1.
Houston, we have a problem.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
What you're seeing here is a mirage. Mirage. Mirage.
What's going on, everyone? It's Jeranism back with another video for you today. Bright and early, Missa and I got up this morning. Oh, say hi, Missa.
Hello.
I forgot about that.
Good morning to you all.
So we got up this morning bright and early because we had a prime opportunity, I guess you'd call it, right? Prime opportunity to watch the ISS. It was about 6 o'clock this morning. We woke up, so about 6:15 or so that it went over. And it went right over our heads. I'd say it's the first time that that's happened, huh?
That the ISS went over our heads?
Directly over?
Yeah, maybe direct, yeah. Yeah.
It was kind of the best it could be. It was also right at sunrise, so you know, I wouldn't even say if it was before or after sunrise. It just happened to be exactly when you might expect it to go right over, and it was a full like 10 minutes that we got to see it. So I grabbed my laser, and we're going to show you here in a second.
Your
Here.
lightsaber, as I call it.
Yes, my lightsaber.
It's huge.
All right, so this is the this is actually on my website. You can go iss.jeranism.com and you can get this. It's a double feed, so it's showing you both of the feeds, the HD feed and the regular feed. And you should be able to see, hopefully, I don't know if you can see it all. You should be able to see the bottom of that, but if you can't, I also included the time in the screenshot. So I screen recorded this, and you'll see that we are, if you look at where the ISS is, it was getting close to going over our heads. So I'm going to fast forward just a little bit to show you as it got closer. So I'd say right about here we went outside. We didn't see anything on the screen, so we were hoping that it was going to pick up, and said it should brighten up, because if the sun is shining on it, as we know, that's the cause of the so-called light. So here it started to come on again. At this point we're outside, and I will show you the video in a second of us being outside. But this video here, you'll see it's getting bright, so technically this should have been about when we started to see it coming over our southwest and going over our head. So far so good. Now from that view we're going to jump back to our camera view here. I'll pause this. Okay, so this view here, there you go. So this is us just getting out there. There's my laser, just shooting it in the sky for fun. And we did get to see something kind of cool here. Did you find out if that's Jupiter?
Oh, sorry, no, I did not. My planetarium was
Yeah, the
screwing
planetarium software doesn't work, huh?
Let me find it here.
So what we're looking at here is just outside of our front door. We're standing on the patio. Mrs. taking a look. We knew it was coming over any minute. She's pointing out here that she can see the moon, so we are assuming it's Jupiter. She's double checking on that, but otherwise we got a problem. But as we zoom in here closely, that was just a star. On this one here that she's zooming in, that's just a star. And then we're going to zoom in a little bit here in a second on what looks like Jupiter. And you can actually see the so-called moons, whatever you want to call them. And so then you'll see the ISS start coming over. Some really weird observations with the ISS this morning. Never before have we seen it darting and diving. It was not a consistent path. It was all over the place. It was, you'll see in a second, it's almost as if it's trying to outmaneuver my laser. Don't know if that's necessarily the case or not.
It definitely seemed like it had a mind of its own.
It did.
Not like a
balloon or
path.
something.
Yeah.
Now, if you look there, you can actually see, hopefully you can see on the feed at home, and I'm not really sure. Oh, I can see over here.
And yes, Jupiter.
Jupiter, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like we can see the moons, so-called. There. Now, right there is where you see the ISS. So that's when it first appeared.
Right above those two lights there.
Yep,
Yeah.
right there. So we kept trying to zoom in to get any kind of a form of it at all.
Shape.
Get to
something.
see what we've seen other people show on their telescope. We don't see anything like that at all. And we can try and put it through my editor later and see what we see, but basically it's just a light traveling at usually a consistent speed. This time I wouldn't say it's consistent at all.
Do you see like a little tiny light next to it, or is it passing by a star?
Can't
there.
see from this view
Oh.
here really. But in a second here you're going to see, so let's understand what's going on here. So let's go back to this view here. Okay, so we know that the camera here, as we get further along, is shining behind it. So the view that you're getting from the ISS up here that you see is, oh, you can't see my mouse on. No, I guess
can-
not.
oh.
No, they can't see
Oh,
it.
they can't.
But it's looking behind it. So as you see this bright light, which is supposed to be, so the first question would be, you know, as you saw, it wasn't dark for us. It was, you know, starting to get light. Now this is looking behind it, so I guess you could say, okay, well, this is looking out at the ocean behind it. That's why you can't see it. So we'll skip forward a little bit here. But as it starts to get right above us, you're going to see that it first goes out, and that was a total of, what, 1 minute and 11 seconds? For 1 minute and 11 seconds, as it kind of goes above us, it goes out. Then it comes back, and it's still dark, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Should have been light enough to see right here, which is starting to be daylight. Again, we'll go back and look at our view in a second. But we're going to go a little forward a little more. Okay, so you'll see here's the problem, though, is it's getting well past us now. Okay, so this is well past California. It's almost above Nevada. And we were like shocked, like, what's going on? Here's me just searching for the... We had already come back inside because we had already done our point. Now this part, remember, again, it's looking behind it, and it's starting to see some land. But basically, I'm fast forwarding here so you can see. Oops. Basically, we're not seeing at all what is the same thing that we saw from the ground. This, at this point, is well over past Nevada, probably over Colorado. So the problem with that is you'll see here that the sky is littered with clouds. Okay, so we definitely see
Lots
that.
and lots of clouds.
Lots of clouds. So much clouds that you can't see anything below it, which simply cannot be the case because, again, we'll go back here. Here's our view. This is us filming the ISS.
Beautiful.
So do you see any clouds at all in the sky? How can we see the ISS this clearly, and yet it can't see the ground because of cloud cover? It's complete and total horseshit. It's
Unless
not
there's like invisible cloud layer.
correct. There's invisible clouds. I knew that was the case. So anyway, you'll see here in me in a second, I'm going to light this thing up with my laser. And the goal was there to see if we could see the laser from the ISS view, which would at least prove to me that what's up there... Now, see that thing darting and diving? Thing is ducking in and out. You know, yeah, some people might say it's the camera, but if you notice at any time where we actually have the camera stationary, it's
Yeah.
seems like
sorry,
it's-
that's not me.
it's just darting and
Because you
diving.
can tell by the what do you call it? The telephone line.
The cables.
Mm-hmm.
So here pretty soon I will light it up, and I had we calculated to see if it was possible that I was shining the laser during the exact minute and 11 seconds that it was offline. And I had my laser on for longer than a minute 11. It's on for about
4 minutes?
yeah, maybe I don't know if it was that long.
Sorry, almost 3.
Yeah, almost 3, I think.
Yeah.
And so you see we're shining this laser up there. I'm trying to get it out. As we shined it on there, oops, don't light the fire.
Uh-oh, don't burn a hole
Don't
through
burn the cables. And I am playing with the beam, trying... If that looked like it went backwards.
Yeah, that was weird.
But, and she's zooming in and zooming
I
out.
mean, of
so.
course, we realized that the laser wouldn't reach,
Well, who knows how far the laser goes, but
but I mean, it should brighten up at least their invisible layer of clouds or something.
there's no way that they wouldn't be able to see it from there. From on the ISS. There's just, at least in my mind, they're looking down. They can see street lights. They can see,
Right.
when they show their videos. So why
Mhm.
can't they see this laser? But again, I'm shining this laser right at it, trying to get, some sort. We're kind of having to duck underneath the house here and film it. But you'll see that, and again, I had it on. It's like trying to avoid the laser light, which I don't think is the case. Now, a lot of people, I've heard people say before, Jaron, what you're doing is illegal because you're shining this at a plane, which is against FAA regulations. But my, of course, complaint or my response to that would be, this is the ISS according to NASA and according to science.
Right.
Therefore, it does not have a pilot. Therefore, I can be blinding no one. The thing hangs out up in the sky with the sun rays and the radiation nailing it constantly. And therefore, I'm not doing any damage to anything, unless it is a plane, in which case, then they should probably tell the truth rather than lie to people and tell them it's a orbiting spacecraft. So again, if you go back here, where is this sky? You know, you're talking about, if we go back to where we were here, this is above us. So right in here, we're not seeing anything that resembles what, you know, below us. Obviously, this should already be lit. You know, there's no reason why the ground should not be lit here. It's not dark, certainly not pitch black. And when you kind of go forward here and you see this, I mean, this is what it should look like. But this here that they're showing is a cloud-covered sky. So where's the cloud-covered sky? We're showing you our view here, which is very simply there is no clouds.
Which now our laser could have cut out their feed.
Could have, if it wasn't for the fact that there is no clouds in the sky. I mean, this should be a completely clear sky, and there's nothing in the sky. You can zoom in here again and see the so-called moons of Jupiter.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though when you can see the quote-unquote moons.
There you go.
I like to call it the little sparkly friends around the big
sparkly
bright
stars
one.
around the. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, there's the ISS. Right as it appeared, we saw it. Just kind of appeared to. It doesn't fade in usually. It's just kind of there. And so I pointed it out. We started watching it. And again, there's no clouds between us and the ISS.
Yeah,
There's no reason for it to. If you look at the houses across the street here, where were we showing? I mean, you know, it's not dark to the point where you shouldn't be able to see anything. In fact, right at the beginning of this, don't you look off to the left? Yeah, you can see it's almost daytime over here on the left.
Yeah.
But we're not seeing anything that resembles.
Yeah, the camera actually makes it look a little darker than it was outside.
True, it was. I'd say it was lighter than it's showing, but it makes no sense to me at all. Now this is just the confirmation that I was looking for. That where are the clouds? We can see this thing, and usually you can't see it. You know, I go out there a lot to see it, and it's either too cloudy,
Or it
it's
doesn't
overcast, or it doesn't show up when it's supposed to. Today, everything went as planned. It showed up exactly when it was supposed to. It did the exact path. There's no, that thing is darting in and out. It went on the exact path it was supposed to, directly over our heads as we expected. But doesn't it all match the view?
Yeah.
You know, this is the view that, again, that we get from it right before it goes out for a minute. Then it goes out for exactly a minute and 11 seconds, comes back. We get nothing but black. And then as it starts to expose the day, now look, it's already past us. I went to here, so, you know, according to that chart, it was already past us.
Yeah.
I just switched to the actual live feed, but here, it's already above Nevada.
Yeah.
So if this is behind it, then where's the light?
Yeah.
And once we get onto this other feed,
It's not matching up.
it doesn't match up. This is going to show a cloud-covered sky. So you'll see the cloud cover there.
You don't ever see land actually until you see the Great Lakes.
Right. Yeah,
later.
until you see the Great Lakes, which come up over here in a little bit. I mean, where is this cloud cover? The sky was completely... So maybe we could pull up a satellite feed and see what it shows for a little while ago or something. I don't know. But clearly this is not the sky. Now it's all the way over here. So it's all the way at the Great Lakes. Just showing cloud cover. Again, there's no cloud-covered sky.
No, it was very clear.
So...
Now, when you were saying how we didn't see it like fade into view, but I do remember when the night of my car accident, we were watching it go off into the distance, kind of in the same direction actually.
Oh, that's the one when it crossed the moon?
Yeah.
Or it came close to crossing the
Or
moon?
it came close to, yeah. But we saw the ISS on the over to the
And that one
east.
faded out, huh?
Yeah, that one faded out. And the one that faded out was the very first time we went and filmed it back at the old house.
I think that I always have seen it fade out, but never seen it fade in.
Hmm.
But it's hard. You would have to know
would have
exactly where
to-
to see it appear, and usually I don't see it till after
You'd have
it
to be
appears.
probably on the beach watching
So,
it. come.
anyway, you know, not much else I can show there other than clearly what we thought we would see. There's no clouds here.
There was
you
none.
can't see the ISS with no clouds between you and it,
Yeah.
and yet it can't see you. Obviously, none of those views shows my laser light at all. But the view would have to be, when it's showing the laser light, would have to be when it's dark, meaning right about this region here. And I had it on, like I said, for longer than it was off. So like here, that's when you should have seen here.
Right.
Out there. I'm shining the laser right at it, but it was already above our heads. So this is not correct. It would have to have been when it was above our heads, which would have been more like maybe there. It's above our head. So right there, I started it again. It's off for 1:11, but I have the laser on it for much longer. So this is where you would see it. So there should be a little blue light flashing somewhere over here, or some sort of sign that, but no, didn't see anything. And again, it's showing cloud cover, and we don't have cloud cover above us. So somebody needs to tell me how it magically makes clouds appear when they're not from the ground. Or you can just face facts that clearly what it is showing is not real.
It's not up there.
It's not up there. So anyway, that's
at least from this one experiment now.
At least from one experiment, and please do this yourself. Don't trust us. But why can't you? Why doesn't it match? It just doesn't make any sense.
No.
The other thing I wanted to show you today, and then we'll be done, was Cassini. So I'm going to get on my browser here, because I saw this and was just, this is hilarious. All right, so let me pause this thing here, or minimize it. Sorry. Okay, so this is the Cassini mission, and it is the craft that's been looking at Saturn for 19 years. I want to say that's the case. You can go to, and I'm at saturn.jpl.nasa.gov. You can go to raw images. You can bring this up. Now, this is 7,561 pages of images of so-called Saturn. You can also do this little search filter over here. You can change your distance. So say we wanted to be only pictures from a minimum of 10,000 kilometers. Then you get all these little pretty pictures, and you can skip through. This has 376 pages. Now let me show you some pretty funny things here. Let's find a good image of Saturn somewhere. Sorry, I'm just going to skip ahead till I find an actual picture of the planet. And you should laugh at this. This is classic. That picture is not 10,000 kilometers away, but whatever, or 10 million. In a second here, you'll see images of Saturn, I'm assuming. Oh, do I not have? Oops, let me turn on Saturn. I did forget to turn it on. So let's go down here. It's also funny to go through the names. Let's see. Okay, so there's Saturn. All right, here we go. Okay, so for instance, like this image here. Okay, so this is supposedly this image of Saturn. Okay, we're going to right-click on it. We're going to copy image address. We're going to go over to photo forensics. Pop this in just to see what we get when we upload this URL. Okay, so when we turn on the ELA, this is not what should happen with any images. It's just turning it off. Maybe I can find an image to show you what should happen, but
it disappears.
It disappears. So, and that was happening with almost every image. I mean, let's go to this one here. We're going to copy image address. Now I'm just randomly selecting it. Don't think I've had this set up ahead of time. I don't know what's going to happen here.
You can do this yourself.
You can do this yourself. Go there.
Easy.
Paste, upload URL. Okay. Now this is absolutely a joke. So it's showing the image, but then when you do an ELA, which is called an air level analysis, it completely erases the image. If you go to metadata, which should include all the data from the image, you'll see that they've erased every bit of metadata. Again, you have to do that on purpose. It's not something that happens on accident. And again, I understand if somebody is taking pictures, like if you did ELA on some of our pictures, or I'm sorry, if you did metadata, you would see maybe sometimes we do remove this data because it usually has your like GPS location and exactly what kind of camera you're using. Maybe people don't want that information known, but when you're a scientific entity taking money from people as tax money to do real science, then this should absolutely be left on. Let me show you a little email I sent and got back.
Or even not so much, but adding to, the idea or the fact that they're taking money from people also is that the fact that they're supposed to be bringing us the truth.
Right.
Whether or not they were taking our money, they're saying they're telling us the truth, and that's the biggest thing. So
I sent an email to these people at Photo Forensics asking them basically, what would be your guess on why these show nothing, is what I asked him. And these guys are really nice. They'll always respond. Awesome. And here's what he said. Hello, Jay Campy. There's a few things going on. The metadata notes that there is only one color component. It's a grayscale image, not a color picture. Number 2, using the JPEG percentage, the image was last saved at a JPEG at 75% quality. ELA tests against a JPEG at 75%. For the picture to return solid black, it means that the ELA test, saving the image at 75%, caused nothing to change. JPEG degeneration is cumulative. For nothing to change during the ELA, it means that the overall quality of the picture is less than 75%. Metadata contains no information. For a NASA photo, this is surprising. I'm used to seeing at least some kind of metadata. Then again, I haven't seen the Cassini RAW photos before. My issue with NASA is that they have zero consistency between projects. So even this guy who runs this site basically knows that NASA has zero consistency. There's no way to keep track of what they're doing. They're not operating as you would expect. Again, this is not what you should see when viewing images, at least that I've ever seen. And we can go to, I'll go to Flickr or something and pull an image out. Let's go Flickr, moon. So we'll just find somebody who's got a image of a moon, or of the moon. Moonshots. Let's go here. Search. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, so like this one here, for instance, looks like a real image to me. Would you agree?
Yep. I've taken a photo just like that myself.
Can you grab from here or not?
Of the moon, not of Saturn's moon. Sorry.
How do you get the image URL?
I'll go to just grab. I think you can just right-click and view image.
Tried. It didn't say that. Hold on, let me see here. I think you can take this.
Flickr sucks that way.
Yeah, maybe it's easier to go somewhere else. I don't think this image will show up, but let's try it.
It might show give you 6 ones you can pick.
Give me an
from.
option. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, so we're going to go to the, it's only 300 by 200. Guess that's the only one. All right, we'll look at this one.
Okay.
Oops, that one. Okay, so this is what an ELA should look like. This is telling you, and in this image here, you can kind of tell that they didn't do a lot of edits, or it doesn't look like they did.
Because it's nice and flush, really.
Right.
There's no,
but it doesn't disappear.
Yeah.
The image is real.
That's
it's not going away.
It's a photograph.
Let's go try another image here. For instance, this image here. Okay, so we're going to grab this.
Ooh.
It's pretty. And this is usually when you open your, see, this is like a crescent moon, but what they did is they left their exposure time open for a while to get more light.
We've done that before.
And we're able to pick up the rest. So let's go over here, upload.
Which is pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
When
At first, we didn't even know that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see, 300. Why do these people have such small pictures?
Well, Flickr's weird.
Okay, so this is a ELA here, and
it even picks up stars, or is that pixels?
Looks like stars. I don't know what I think about this image.
To me, it looks
like it's edited.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like maybe they color adjusted it.
Yeah,
a bit,
looks like there's a little bit of color adjustment.
But it looks like the moon is actually probably that's where it was.
So let's go back here and find somebody else's image. Let's just look up
fairly real picture
moon.
to me.
Okay, so that'd be interesting to see. Well, this one would be interesting to see actually, because obviously we know that this has been edited some way. So let's see what this looks like.
Unless that's God.
Yeah, God could be uploading on Flickr.
Doing a selfie with his moon.
Let's see, upload URL. Okay, this one. Okay, so that kind of does show you something that it's looks like the background's been edited. See this whole black thing here?
Yeah, like there was something behind there, and he PNG'd it out and then added black.
Added that in.
So you can see how brightly the text down there in the corner? It pops up super.
Right.
Like it didn't belong there to begin with.
Like I would say, so far no picture we've seen has been unedited. Okay, so let's try something like this one.
It
has a text on it. So like this one here looks pretty unedited to me. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. And we're going to grab this one just to look at it. Photo forensics, upload, paste, upload. See what this one looks like. I don't know why it's happening with all those small images. I thought it would say the big one too. Pretty ugly.
Well, now see, again, it's there. It doesn't disappear.
Doesn't disappear, yeah.
Number 2, my photos that I've taken.
They do that?
They do that. But they don't have square box edges as if I cut and pasted it in from another program.
and that will show. So I'm trying to find just a picture that looks real.
Or that looks, or that you know is edited. So then it can show like the edited. Remember we tried this one time? I
Mhm.
forget.
Yeah, it's always hard to find because just, this doesn't look edited to me, but it could
You
be.
probably want to go to like Google and just look for, or like DeviantArt probably, and they check that.
Okay, we're just going to look at these. So anyway, let me go back and look at some of these Cassini images, and while Miss is trying to find a picture that we can look at that has been or hasn't been edited. And again, we're just looking at only Saturn images right now. And here's the biggest joke, is if you start going through these, let me actually go back to here, and we're going to take off this part of the search. So we're going to take off Saturn, and we're going to take off the distance. Hello? There we go. Okay. So now we're looking at 7,561 pages. So we'll just put in some random number here. Let's go 450. Okay, which is just, okay, so these are just pictures of stars, basically. It says image of Saturn. I don't know where you're supposed to be seeing an image of Saturn there. But we're going to copy the image address, head over to photo forensics, and look at what the difference is. So we're going to upload. Drop this in here. Upload URL. Okay, this is ridiculous. That is not what stars should look like. I don't know why they do. It basically means that all those were cut in.
Yes.
I mean, that's what that basically looks like. If you go outside and take a picture of the stars, they will not come out looking like that through air level analysis. Let's go back here and skip forward a little bit. And also, you can usually, where's the info? How do I get back there? More info? Because you can actually go through and it will tell you exactly when they were taken, when they were received on Earth. And there's just so many discrepancies that make no sense. It'll be a real close picture, then the next second it's real far away. It'll be on one side of the planet, then the next second be on the other side. Yeah. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so, I mean, anybody actually think this is real? This is ridiculous. This is not, I mean, here we go. Look at Saturn. This is Saturn. We just saw it. Why is it see-through? Why are we seeing through this image? Saturn's real, and it shouldn't be able to be seen through. Let's go copy image address.
I sent you two, if you want to use them.
What are those pictures then?
Of edited photographs.
Okay. So, I mean, this is ridiculous. How does it disappear?
Yeah,
what is happening to Saturn that's causing it to disappear? Again, go to metadata. We'll see nothing. Let's see here. Here and this one here.
So you can even tell that they added a glow to it. So there should be some.
So we're gonna go copy image address, photo forensics, upload. Okay, yeah. So I mean that looks way bad.
Yeah. See the blues and the
Yeah, it should be like a washed across kind of look. You shouldn't see these little outer, little ridiculous little dilly-dallies. And these stars have been edited. They've been added in.
And more specifically, you could tell with the photo that glow is not real, and you can see when you hover over it, it changes its color, which is blue around the.
And you sent me another one.
Okay,
there's another one. Oh yeah, that's been edited. So we're gonna copy image address. Close that one, go here, upload. Drop that in there. Yeah, way bad.
Yeah,
so you'll see
now
this,
you see the difference.
But you'll also notice it doesn't disappear.
Yeah,
big
time.
It's actually on the screen. Again, go back here to Cassini. Let's pull up some, okay, I mean, here we go. What are we seeing stars through Saturn
now,
for?
could it be its little moons?
Could be.
In front of it?
Sure, because it's got 60-something odd moons, right?
Right.
But then why does it disappear when you're looking? So let's skip the way
forward. If you just
forward.
scroll through them, it's like...
Yeah, if you just scroll through them, it's so ridiculous. How do I get back here? Select? No. And you can supposedly download all these. I mean, obviously you can, but
and you know
just
why
somebody awful lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, you just know that they put up 7,000 of these so that
7,000 pages.
If anybody who does believe in space ever was asked, why don't they have images? Like, they do. Look, they have 7,000, but they won't even go look at them. They'll just say, look. They wouldn't lie if they were putting up, or they wouldn't be lying. Or what am I saying?
Oh,
Would
here's
they be?
one of their moons. Look at
Oh
this.
God, look at that.
Okay, so here's like a moon. Look at this thing here. Yeah, right. This is Epimetheus, right? Okay, so let's see what this shows up looking like. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna go copy image address.
And all images are not shaky, not blurry, not
upload.
nothing. I mean,
And
come
upload
on.
URL.
Do they have like auto focus for every fucking?
Okay, look at this.
Image.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you can't see that and tell me what's the difference between what we just saw, this is the air level analysis on this picture of Prometheus, because it's completely contrived. It's completely made up. It's a fake image.
And what did the photo forensics guy say when you asked him about it again? Just so I can remember what he said, what that means when it turns black.
For nothing to change during ELA, it means that the overall picture quality is less than 75%.
Wow, which means it's not a direct image from the
And
satellite.
he's just saying also that it's, in his experience, the problem with NASA, his issue with NASA is there's zero consistency between projects. So
Right.
they do that in a way that they can just make up what's going on. I mean,
If
let's
there's no
look at this picture.
consistency, then
Oh,
it's
boy.
not scientific.
So what, the spacecraft got this close to this moon or something? Let's go copy
that's
image
terrible.
address. Let's go look at this in photo forensics. Again, if it was a real picture, then I would be able to have metadata. I would be able to see the date and time it was taken.
Yep.
Which camera. Look at, folks, can you see that? The thing
Unbelievable.
disappears.
And then you see star.
It disappears.
I mean, okay.
People saying you don't need NASA to understand where we are in the universe. Great. If you, even though you've never seen the Earth other than from images from NASA,
Yeah.
and NASA is your scientific body of exploring the universe. They're taking money from taxpayers. They spent over $1 trillion, and they're teaching things in school. Go look up NASA. Everything they're doing is education for the youth. Teach the youth. Force the youth. Have the youth come to our little museums so that we can fake images completely. So that you can show this, and then on an ELA, it's not there. That means it's not there.
Yeah.
That this picture, this gray part, has been added
Added in.
to the image after.
Yep.
It's a total joke. And yet people will just keep swearing by NASA as if they're something special that we are supposed to believe them. And then you wonder why Kyrie Irving and these people are coming out saying that the Earth is flat. It's because at a certain point you have to, face facts, which is if somebody's lying to you, somebody's teaching you one thing and teaching you something else is dumb and stupid and idiotic and only for morons and ancient desert wandering belief. Well, if that's the case, then the truth is the truth. Let the truth shine through. But when we go looking for the truth, we find BS.
Yeah.
So you can pick any of these moons. They got all kinds of cool names like Aegeon, Albiorix, Anthe, Atlas, Bebhion, Bergelmir, Besla, Calypso, Daphnes, Dione. Oh yeah, I want to see pictures of the Earth? This is great.
Oh really?
Here's the pictures of
We were waiting to see the Earth. Oh wow.
There it is in all its splendor. That's the Earth, guys. Okay? Don't question NASA either. These are pictures of the Earth. This is a scientific entity. Okay? They're not... Scientists all over the world aren't lying to you. Okay? They don't have a reason to lie to you. It's all the truth. This is the Earth. Let's go see what it looks like if we go photo forensics that one. Should be interesting. Paste. Upload. Yep, so that's what we get. We get darkness. At least it's actually staying there.
I see a little bit of something.
I see a little bit of the Earth. Yeah, I don't know why the Earth shines like a star. I have no idea. And then we said, okay, well, what about Jupiter? Should be a good site, right? Jupiter, because let's turn Earth off. Let's go check out Jupiter. It's its neighbor. Oh, only 2 images of Jupiter. It's kind of weak. I think there'd be more than that. These are the 2 images of Jupiter from Saturn. I mean, come on. These 2, these are the best images of Jupiter.
I need to see how far Jupiter is from Saturn real quick.
Holy smokes, that is ridiculous.
Jupiter to Saturn.
Let's jump that and do a photo forensics.
Oh.
What a joke. Pisses me off because there's just
655 million kilometers between Saturn and Jupiter. Okay. And
655 million kilometers. So that's like 300, 400 miles, something like that. I don't know. 400 million miles.
Yeah. Wait, let me check this really
Not
quick.
seeing anything there either.
Oh, no. When Jupiter and Saturn are on opposite sides,
See,
they
it would
are-
change all the time.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I guess that's their closest is 655 million, and then it goes up to 2.21 billion kilometers.
Really?
Mhm.
Guess when they're on opposite sides of the sun or something?
Yeah.
I wouldn't think it would be that much. So that's Jupiter. So you can keep going through the rest of this list. We hit Earth. You can hit Enceladus, Epimetheus, Erapio. Your turn. You have to pronounce one of these, not just me.
Okay, let me see what's the next one. I can't see very well.
Oh, I like that one. I'll take Areopus.
Where are you looking at? I'm sorry, I can't see. Oh, those down there, yeah.
Areopus. Now you can do them.
Forumpt?
Nope.
Oh. Was that Fomjont?
Fornjot.
Okay.
It's the moon of Fornjot. Let's check it out. We'll
I
see
like
what it looks like.
F-ring. That's more like it. That sounds better.
Here's Fornjot. See?
Is that grape? Grape?
What is that?
Hmm.
Let's check this one out. Copy image address. Photo forensics. And this is what makes me mad is that scientists, if there were real scientists out there that was like, let's double check on NASA. What does it hurt? Look at that.
Geesh.
That is a completely contrived picture. It's just nonsense.
Oh my goodness.
Metadata, nothing. As always.
So as you can see, everybody, the
As you can see.
inconsistencies of your scientific space agency that is not the government controlled by the military.
Yeah, right. See, some of these pictures look decently real.
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't stand. Not I can't stand. The photos like that with the galaxy there.
Mm-hmm.
I know that people have taken those photos themselves, and even your dear friend Peter
Mm-hmm.
says he's taking pictures of those galaxies, which is crazy if they're really up there in our sky. Which I'm not saying they're billions of light years away, but see, then that's not a real photo. So what are
Not at
people
all.
doing? Just
But at least,
making those
okay,
things
so
up?
they left some metadata in there so you can see different programs that they used. But it's nowhere near real. I mean, that's clear.
That's sad.
So, yes, it's hard to find real images. I don't know. That looked real.
Mm-hmm.
Think that one looks real?
Yeah.
For the most part. Let's try that one.
Mhm.
Oops, get out of
I
here.
think they definitely color enhanced it, purple or whatever.
So let's see what we see on
Well,
that
when
one.
you have shows like Chelsea and what's it called? That one Chelsea and photography show with the couple. The
Can't
married couple.
remember.
Chelsea and Nate or Nick or something.
No.
Anyways, they look at people.
The Nortons? No.
Northrops.
Northrops.
Yeah.
Tony.
Tony. He's a NASA fan, but it doesn't matter right now. They look at
Oh, this
photos.
looks fake too.
And then they even show you like this is what I would do this photo, and they would change it up, cut it, crop
Change
it,
the colors.
change the colors, add glow, add contrast. So when you have, which is cool, I think is awesome because I love photo editing. I love photography. Not a big fan of photo editing, but I love photography, and I think if you can, it's an artistic thing to do. It's fine because people know what a real sunset looks like. So to play with the colors and the art is fine if you're trying to just be creative and have fun with something. But when when you're supposed to be a scientific organization up in space taking photos of things we can't take photos of, then you need to send us the real shit. Don't send us cropped, color changed
That's
things.
interesting. Look at this one.
Wow, I kind of like it when it's purple. It's pretty.
So this one here has some metadata, which this I always appreciate. Although you can look in here and see the history. That's nice. This one doesn't say what you usually see. This just says saved. So its history is only that it was saved twice, which doesn't mean that it wasn't edited, because again, it could have been edited as one image, transferred to another computer, changed its name, and
And then
then
saved.
just saved, and that's all you would see on the ELA. So it's no way to actually get the...
But there's room there for them. They could have edited it,
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna look up SpaceX real quick to show you what it... I mean, that's another thing is that SpaceX, why don't they have the metadata for us to see?
Yeah.
ISS.
Or would they say
not
there
ISS.
isn't metadata because it's in
No.
space? Or wait, no.
Nope.
You mean like their photos from the ground?
Yep. Even in space, I mean, every picture's digital now, so they all has to have metadata.
Right.
Falcon 9 landing. Let's go with that. And we're going to look at some images. Okay, so these are some images of the Falcon 9 landing in its various places. So let's grab like this image here, and we're gonna go copy image address, photo forensics, upload, paste, upload URL. Okay, so this image here, which doesn't look at all like you would expect if it was real. Let's look at metadata. This is what pisses me off right here. Is it?
What is that?
And we should actually, before I say it pisses me off because we're on Popular Mechanics, let's actually get to
And the actual SpaceX website.
SpaceX sites. Yeah, let's go to SpaceX. Because
would be the
SpaceX
first excuse.
should, SpaceX images, hopefully they have it on their site. That's Flickr, here's SpaceX Media Gallery. All right, so this is the actual SpaceX images here. So this is a landing, I'm guessing. Looks certainly like it. January 13th, SpaceX is the photo credit. Let's go copy image address, upload, dump. See what we get here. I mean, that's ridiculous. So remember how we showed before what happens when you edit pictures, how you get these colored bands on the outside?
Yep.
Ridiculous.
So
Let's look at
bad.
metadata here. Yeah, they have more than most. But usually if you go down here, this is where, if I can find...
Whoa.
Crazy. Usually you don't get the GPS from their stuff.
Yeah,
Cape
weird.
Canaveral. Now I want to look at this. Where is the reflective copyright 1999? Above sea level, timestamp. Usually I don't see this information, so I'm going to have to look at this because this is interesting. 7/17, when was this supposed to be? July 13th. What? How is the original date and time for the image July 17th? Is that what I'm seeing? July 17th.
Yeah, it looks like it.
How can the image be July 17th if it was...
Then that means it's absolutely not genuine that they made a photo later? Or do you think maybe they saved it later? No,
It
that
doesn't
would
make
be
any
the
sense because
original
it says here it's July 13th, 2017. So how would that
Interesting. That's the second time we've seen something like that happen. Remember with the it was the
be? That
one of
doesn't make
the
any
solar
sense.
eclipses or the lunar eclipses or the
Oh yeah, the
Venus-
date was wrong. I remember
Mhm.
that.
It was 3 days earlier, the same, or 3 days later, the same.
This is
thing.
months earlier.
Oh, months. Oh, I thought it was days. You said 13th. Oh,
It's
April.
saying 2016 7/18,
July. Oh.
July 17th and 18th, which is way earlier. Let's go try another image to see what's going on here.
Oh, yeah.
That's weird. What's
Messy,
this one
messy.
here? So this is, and again, I wouldn't doubt this picture is real. It doesn't mean that they landed the thing on the ground.
That looks really not. real.
Copy image address. We're gonna pump this one in here.
You can even see the like projection lights on the ground behind it, like it's being projected. Look right there.
Oh man,
That's horrible.
that's really bad.
Yeah.
What is this behind it? What is this?
An added glow. That's the PNG outline of a added glow in there, I believe.
So weird. All the dates are the exact same. And this is interesting. I always find this interesting. Sometimes you see more than this, but this one here particularly says derived and then saved. Derived means it's an image taken from another image and then created.
Derived,
So,
right? Not taken. It's derived.
right. It
Yeah.
should just be saved, or something shouldn't be derived from anything if it's an actual image. Let's keep going. CRS 9
Derived
mission.
is a definition according to Google.
Mm-hmm.
Obtain something from.
Copy image address.
Base a concept on a logical extension or modification of another concept.
Yeah, that is so bad.
Yuck.
See this one here. Wonder why the modified dates are back in 2016. That doesn't even make sense to me. I'll have to look up this some more and figure out what that means. But I mean, this is where I laugh. This is the history of this photo. Derived, saved, saved, converted, derived, saved, saved. So why would you go through that much to give us one image?
And I would
This is
give
this
them
image.
that if we were looking at a photo from outer space, like, okay, I get it, things have to come, you have to transfer, like I would give them that, even though it should just be get it and send it out. But this is a photo supposedly taken on Earth. It should just be
Right. It should
get
be
your
one photo.
Get it out.
Put it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Let's. Where do you get more images here? Multimedia gallery. So we'll find another. These are okay. Here's a daylight image that. I mean, this should not be. People would probably agree. Should not be edited. If this is real,
Should be
then
easily
it's
taken. Yeah.
easy real image, right? So we'll go here, upload. See what we get from this one. And as far as the dates changing, I'll have to check, what's going on with that. I don't know what that is. Okay, let's go to metadata.
Someone in the chat says that flat Earth can't be proven. It can only be discovered. I would say
Can't be proven?
it can't be. Not that it can't be proven. I would say that
We haven't
for some
found a way to
people-
do it yet.
Well, for some people, you can't. I would say with truth, you can't teach truth. You can't, tell somebody, believe me, and this is the truth. You can't, not through that, but truth has to be realized on your own.
Yeah, and these are the kind of things. This should be the kind of evidence that just adds to whatever you want to believe. And again, if you want to believe in SpaceX and NASA and all that stuff, that's fine. You can believe whatever you want. But I'm trying to show you why we don't, and why I think it should be questioned by everyone, because it would be an awfully big deception if it were to find out that they're not what they say they are. And it certainly looks like to me, when I'm researching some of these things, that I'm not seeing the kind of evidence that would lead me to believe that it's something that should be considered fact. Now this image here looks real to me, so I want to see what this one comes up. Looks absolutely legit. Looks a little bit, well, now I'm not going to say that so much, because this looks actually small, but let me see. And we'll just try this one more thing. We're doing this live, so again, we never looked at these before, so who knows what we'll get. I mean, it's just not what I want to find a real image, because it's just not what a real image looks like in an ELA. If you...
No, yeah, that's really bad.
I don't know, see if I look up like family photos. I'm just trying to find somebody who would have uploaded a picture of a family or something. Okay, this picture here, not the best of quality. Oh yeah, they're just a little better. Let's try this one. Although usually with these kind of images they're edited too, but let's see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what a real image looks like. This is what usually ELA looks like. See how that's all washed across as like a even...
Pretty even.
Pretty even.
That probably could have had some editing in it. You could see a little bit of the pixelies going on with the white along the pixel. Well, no, that happened on our photo when we did it with our family.
I mean, what I could do is edit this real quick and see what it does
But
if I
what
edit
you
it.
can tell is that there's not like a ring around with blue, or where they added color. You'd be able to see there's some like red pixels in the background, probably because they took the color and maybe enhanced it a bit, but they didn't obviously cut and paste anything. You can tell that.
Yeah, so let's see, like if we were to take, okay, so let's take one of these images here, and we're going to save this. Come here. Oh, no, I don't like that one. I think this guy's head's fine.
Someone's asking if you have to pay for children at the conference.
I would doubt it, but you'd have to ask Robbie on that one. I don't know much about the conference. I know the date. That's about it.
I would say if I was in charge, children would be free.
Yeah, so I'm just going to take like this picture here and save images.
You could just sneak them in. I'm just kidding.
Sneak them in your bag?
I mean, I'm probably going to be at the front table, so it'd be like, oh, you brought children? Bring them on in.
You're going to babysit?
Yeah.
And where was that image of this one here? So I'm just going to take a look at what happens if I edit that image and see if... okay, so I saved both those. We'll go back to here and this Cassini fabulousness. And let me see here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up that image real quick, and I'm going to edit it and see if we can see a big difference when I edit it. Date. I can actually show people, I guess, what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as this comes up. Hello? Now, why did the other image not show up here? Okay, so for instance, what I'll... Oh, maybe I should show people what I'm doing. Get this,
Mhm.
and then we'll go here, add this, scene, and... What? Oh yeah, here, add. And we gotta go window capture. Okay, and it should be my real world paint. Okay. Does that maximize? Okay. Alright, so I'm just showing them, just going to this image here. And I'm just going to switch their heads. So we'll get in here and take their head off and switch them with each other. So we're going to take this guy's head. And we're going to go control copy. And we're going to take her head. Like that. Control. Actually, I don't need that. Should I move? Oops.
This is funny because someone said, not that I want to point out the one person that's using names in this chat, but
Mm-hmm.
I just won't say their name, but they said, so how come solar panels are not curved when a fisheye lens is claimed to be used to make the Earth a globe? Well, if you watch the ISS footage, the stuff is curved, right? We see when during EVAs and stuff, not EVAs,
Yeah, I see it.
we've
Curved.
definitely seen them curved. So, not sure.
So anyway, I just put
What you
this
talking
girl's
about there?
head on this guy's thing here. I'll even soften it up with a little soften brush. I'm just going to see what it looks like when we reload this in the ELA. To see if somebody's editing photos. So for instance, this has now been edited a lot. We'll come over here. Clean that up. We'll clean this up. Alright. There we go. So I changed that, added her head there. Now we're going to file, save that. Okay. So now let me go back here to the browser. Transition that. Close this. Photo forensics. Upload. Upload file. Oops. Okay, so let's go all the way down here and just come here with the face. Alright, so we're going to upload this file and see what we get here. So, yeah, I guess that see how the white now has been changed here? But it actually does look almost like before, doesn't it? And I just completely moved her head.
Yeah, but then look at the metadata then.
Would that change it? Oh,
Yeah,
because I have my metadata turned off. So it's not going to pick up my computer's metadata.
But it doesn't have theirs.
No,
Yeah.
it didn't have it to start with anyway.
Mhm.
Oops. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Yeah, it actually looks, I mean, doesn't this... Oh, both of them are edited. I forgot. I edited her head back on there. That's
Mhm.
not the real head.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look that bad. I mean, it actually looks sellable,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
definitely. I think it's when you add like a glow or add a big color change or something, then you can see like the heat of the image is going to be obviously different, and so it's going to change its
But nothing as far as it disappearing.
right.
I'd like to see somebody make that happen, actually.
Yeah.
Somebody show us how you can make something disappear. Besides NASA, you don't. That's cheating. NASA knows how to do it. So let's go look at one more of these pictures, and that'll be good. Let's see, turn Jupiter off. Let's see what else we have here. Phoebe. Phoebe. Phoebe? I don't know how you say that. Phoebe.
Phoebe.
And I mean, some of these are just ridiculous when you get to the pictures of Saturn and you're looking at see how this says the date that they're taken? And if you just go through like this with the forward button when you're, oops. That's not what I meant to do. Let's go look at Saturn. I'm not seeing much of this the way as the moons go. Saturn. Okay, so, make it. Give me a number. Let's go 2000. Oh yeah, that looks real. So like this picture here, for instance.
And that's good. That's a good one.
Yeah. This looks real. This is the planet Saturn. Sure it
It's
is.
Saturn.
Saturn. Let's go upload that URL. And my guess will be it'll disappear. Yep. Anybody see any of this happening anywhere else that just completely disappear? I mean, it doesn't exist. Don't know what else you're supposed to believe. See what else we get here. What is that?
One of Saturn's.
It's a joke. This is where our tax money goes
Saturn's
to
diamond ring.
letting these people completely fake the world with their nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably nothing sadder in the world than that. What happened? Come back here. Let's go to, I don't know, 1002.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to show this so everyone can do this yourself. Go to saturn.jpl.nasa.gov.
Mm-hmm.
You basically hit the raw images button to get all these downloads. And there's, like I said, 4,000 some odd pages.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to a ring. See a ring of Saturn. Saturn E-ring. Okay, so these ones here. And then you can just skip through these and you can, again, believe if you want, whatever you want. But for instance, this image here was taken 10:25 p.m. The next one here also at 10:25 p.m. So that's
They were just changing their contrast.
at 9:52 p.m., 9:53 p.m., 9:54. Now all of a sudden, just random stars can be seen through Saturn, which, remember, we were just looking at this, so why are we seeing through it? Who knows?
Now, why don't we ever see blue screens? Like when
Like the
it-
ISS?
Yeah.
When they're on the night side of Saturn?
Yeah.
I don't know. And isn't this craft supposed to be in orbit? I mean, it doesn't look like it's in orbit. It looks like it's staying still.
And it kind of goes like far away and then it comes back. Well, maybe that's what that.
It doesn't seem like that's what you would see.
Mm.
Although I've got lots of questions like that. I mean, my recent question is, why did the astronauts float on the way to the moon? I thought that the reason that astronauts float in the ISS is because they're always falling.
That's a big one.
So if you're on your way to the moon, you can't be falling to the moon because the actual gravity is 1/6. So you wouldn't be floating. You would think, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Hey, people in the chat, real quick, I don't think it's good to use the words like globetards and stuff because it's not a good thing to do. So let's not do that, okay?
It's just not helping the situation.
No, I mean,
That's
if we
the
know
point.
we know what we've observed, we know what we see, we've realized and can recognize that NASA lies and that the science, mainstream science lies. So if we're confident in that, then there's no need for name calling. It just doesn't help anybody.
It's just they're just as fooled as the rest of us. It just sucks that they won't take a look at what we're trying to get them to look at. I mean, the sad thing is a Red's rhetoric or a cool hard logic, I'm guessing, would look at this and consider this real. And that's just sad in and of itself because it means that the person has decided to take the word of NASA and science over their own observations and ability to differentiate between lies and truth. And that's sad as could be to me.
Well, and it comes down to
Look at these rings. You gotta be kidding me.
They trust that, their government and the NASA agency or whatever you want to call it, all the authorities in the different areas of their lives, that they're not lying to them, that they're just trusting them.
Yep.
So
See, not lying at all. This image that disappears under scrutiny. No reason to question why that would possibly happen. It's ridiculous. It just really is. Look at these. What are these pictures of? What is this?
that looks like an eyeball.
This is that so-called hexagon or whatever on the top of Saturn, which makes no sense. Let me upload this one. But anyway, I just want people to go there and enjoy yourself. They're putting these pictures up there for some reason, so I mean, that's ridiculous. Should not just disappear. It makes no sense to me. I mean, it doesn't matter what their possible explanation is either, because if they're actual images, and if what they're saying is that, oh, well, it disappears because they're not in the human vision spectrum, then that means tell people that Saturn isn't in the human vision spectrum. We shouldn't be able to see it.
Yeah.
So what you're seeing in the sky is like an aberration. Look at this image. Oops, go back and load that one. I'll check this one, copy image address. I don't know. Anybody who believes that this is Saturn and it's out in the sky and it's a planet 100 times the size of the Earth, how? I mean, these things have been edited. They're a joke. If somebody sits at a computer and designs a program that outputs images like this, and that's what you. So what did I hit? Foreign jot. I don't want to see foreign jot.
Yeah.
No Phoebe. No Saturn.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, they're inconsistent, and we know now why. When we see that with a photo, we know what's happening now. So.
Oh boy. Look at these. You see these?
That's just the moon.
What is this? Okay, let's go see this one in there. Who wants to bet money it disappears?
Someone says they are listening to cognitive dissonance right now.
Look at this.
That's bad. It's horrible. All their photos are doing that. Not one is legit. It's bad.
Look at these images. They are so bad. This doesn't even look like a sphere. I mean, people know what a sphere looks like. It's a disc, if anything. It's just a generated image. What are these lines here? That's real. Yeah, that's real. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe this is the kind of bullshit that people buy. Can't even imagine. I mean, and I used to not even think about it, because why would you? What is that? Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, just took a perfect image like this. What's that one? Dion?
These are official photographs from yours truly, not yours truly.
Look at this.
Your NASA.
This is not what should happen when you do air level analysis on images. They should not disappear. It's gone.
Well, if
gone.
the images you're being told, if those images are supposed to be real images, real photos, then that should not happen. Absolutely. I
They're
agree.
supposed to be real images, as far as
and that's what
know.
I mean. That's what I'm. Yeah.
What is this? A shadow on there? Oh boy.
That's the matrix. There, those lines there.
It is really, really bad. So I'll check out one more, and then we'll be done for the day. We got up too early today.
Yeah, someone said it was easy to get away with stuff like this in the 80s and 90s. I agree. And what they've done is they have generated all these fake images so that you get here and you just say, well, geez, nobody would ever fake this. You know, yeah, there's so many images.
There's
what do you
so
mean?
many images. Why would anybody fake this? You know, what do you think?
Just like Bill Nye said, the amount of paperwork.
Yeah, the amount of paperwork would be cost prohibitive to them faking it, forgetting the fact that they've taken $1 trillion in tax money. So is it really cost prohibitive, or is it better to, you know, how much did I say this mission costs? Let's look that up real quick. Anyway, you can check these things out.
Yeah.
If you really think this is Saturn, more power to you. If you think this is in the sky and it's 100 times, is it 100 times or 10 times?
Maybe 10 times, but we just
I think
know
it's 10 times. 10 times the size of Earth, and that
it is billions of kilometers away. I know that.
it's ridiculous. I just don't
least
understand
that's
why
what they
people wouldn't
obviously
question
what they
this.
tell
Why would
us.
you not question somebody? I mean, there it goes, just disappearing.
Well, here's the thing. Most people who subconsciously, I guess you could say, believe it, they're too busy to even see all this stuff, you know, because they have jobs, they have
Well, that's
their
the
lives
problem.
to take care of, and if they did sit down and decided, you know, I have time to look at some cool stuff today, they would look at this and be like, well, I don't know. At least I would hope.
I would hope too, because there's nothing about this that looks anywhere near real. Pictures from space that are sent back billions of miles through space Wi-Fi. 40% of the world has internet access. 40%.
Yeah.
So we've got 40%, yet we have the ability to send images back from Saturn, which is billions of miles away, and I can't go to my front sidewalk and still get my Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
It cuts out. So I mean, they have to pretend that they're sending images billions of miles and they're aimed just perfectly, that come back to our satellites. It's an utter joke.
It's a deception. That there's no
It's a
other
deception.
way to say it.
And there's, oh boy, maybe I should look at one of these just for fun. I didn't even look at these before. Videos. See if there's anything. What's up, solar conjunction? Talking about these 4 days at Saturn. What is this? No idea what we're getting here. Oh boy. Where is this video coming from? Oh, right here. Cassini's spacecraft stared at Saturn's
Might want
atmosphere.
to pause it really quick. Just, do you think that since this is like you don't
No,
think it'd
NASA
be-
can't copyright their stuff. They're not allowed to. I mean, this is another thing. So this is it says this image represents 4 days of Saturn. It's staying still. I thought it has to be in orbit. The camera is staying still. Is it not?
Unless they're taking a time lapse, meaning they're taking images that the satellite took every day or every few minutes of when it hit that one spot.
When it comes around.
Yeah. Like
Got
that could
me.
be easily explained, but that's not a real image. That's stupid. Show us that from Earth. Why don't we get to see like? Well, they do show us, and they're terrible looking. There was
boy,
I wanted
this
to tell
is
you
so bad.
yesterday there was a news article on Aerospace Daily, and
Mhm.
the title of it said SpaceX says it can beat NASA to the moon.
Yeah, I probably can.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they beat you 50 years ago, but maybe we're trying to forget about that. I'm not
I
sure.
think they're trying to erase that whole idea.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is classic. This is a computer-generated representation. Oh boy.
What's that supposed to be?
I guess the orbits
looks
of the
like-
Cassini thing.
That looks like the
I don't know,
my
it's crap.
screensaver from back in 1998 on my parents'
Oh, I had
gateway
that one too.
computer.
Like the pipes or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, and if you look at the cost of this mission, which is the here we go, Saturn,
Nice.
moons,
Oh, scroll back
and
up.
Pleiades.
There was like someone painting the picture.
Yeah, that's a little bit more realistic.
Yeah, at least they're being honest there.
How has Cassini inspired me? It inspired me to know you're full of shit.
That's what they're
Explore,
all
create,
about.
share. What is that?
They're global warming. That's their global warming right
Oh, these
there.
are featured creations. So when people,
Mm.
yeah, good idea. This is about how funny. Here's that little thing, and somebody's showing it that they did it on an egg.
Now let's photo forensics that image.
Yeah, maybe let's try that. Copy image address. Photo forensics. What do you think you're gonna see?
I don't know. I can't tell you. What is it going to show?
Looks pretty legit. Mm.
Yeah. So
at least the hexagon
So
does.
is the egg that's boiling there? Is it spinning?
No.
Because I'm pretty sure that is probably why Saturn has a hexagon on its head.
Because it's spinning.
But that's just a guess. I don't know.
I don't think there's such thing as
Obviously.
Saturn. But well, there is Saturn. There is something in the sky. It's a light in the sky that, even with our telescope, we could never see the rings.
Yeah.
Yet Galileo could see the rings.
But I've seen the rings.
Yeah, and
when
we're
I was
gonna
a
go April.
child.
We're gonna go April 1st to a local astronomy
Observatorium.
Sorry,
Observatorium. I don't
April 1st. They're doing a day where you can look at the sun in the first part of the day,
Mhm.
and then the stars at night through their like. How big was it? It was huge. I forgot how big it was. Don't remember what they said.
Don't remember.
So let's go here again.
Someone asked, "Is this is research?" I'm like, no, this is observations.
It's research. Go ahead. What do you mean it's research?
You mean
These are images of
Because
Saturn that they are
real
telling you
research
are real.
is real research is trusting your scientists.
I'll probably
government,
guarantee you that
what
you've
they
never
say.
been to this site and you believe that Saturn is a planet up in the sky that's 10 times as big as the Earth.
Mhm.
So this is more research than you've certainly done. I can guarantee that. As far as just checking up on your space agency and saying, hey, what are you guys doing over there?
Mhm.
What are you guys passing off as being real? These images.
Mhm.
And again, you want to believe them? That's fine.
So what did somebody say to you when
Look at this. This is
when you were
ridiculous.
we were looking at the ISS, and someone had said to you that you needed to go to NASA and tell them that you're going to be tracking them when they go over you,
Yeah.
so they can set it up for you. I'm like, well, that's ridiculous. If I was cheating on my husband, I'd be like, baby, you need to come talk to me and tell me when you're going to track me, and then
So I know what day it's going to
so
be.
you can make sure that my things are all set. Like, you don't do that. That's not how you figure things out. Okay.
So I'm just skipping through these images and oops, I don't know why it always goes back there. But you'll see like all kinds of stars moving, but not certain ones. Oop, that was real good. Did you see that? Like look at these stars. They're just like moving, but coming right back. And see these ones?
Yeah.
Click, 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 click. They're like dancing around. And these are all taken minute after minute. See, 4:32, 27, 23, 19, 10. Yeah, you've got.
And what do they say thereof?
This camera is pointing towards Besla. The image was taken using CL and C2 filters. This image has not been validated or calibrated. A validated, calibrated image will be archived with the NASA Planetary Data System.
Oh, so it's...
After they've taken a look and they've been able to...
So these are just, quote-unquote, the raw images.
Raw images directly from the...
Oh, so they're not even validated, babe.
Nope, they're not validated yet.
So they're not even officially valid
Which probably means they
photos.
won't stand behind them. Like, what is that?
Then don't put them up on the website then.
What are these things? What's happening here? It's such nonsense. Oop, now
Oh, that's
this
a good one.
see-through planet jumped in the way. Oh, there we go. This is kind of fun.
Wow.
Just do this and... Oh, yeah, there we go.
And these are supposed to be in sequence, in like order or whatever?
They are in sequence, yeah. So if you watch... So I'm at November 2015, 7:48 p.m. 7:48, 7:48, 7:05... Wait.
Someone
it's
says,
going
open a new
backwards?
file on Photoshop, color it black, add a white circle, and run it through Photo Forensics, see what happens.
Just a white circle.
It says, yeah, open a new file on Photoshop, color it black, and then add a white circle,
Gotcha, it's a good idea.
and run it through Photo Forensics.
Let me see here. So if we go... open... Oops. So I'm going to do that right now just because I think it's good to see at least what it does. Hello. My thing froze. There we go. Where's an image? I'll take this one. Okay, so we're going to color this image. Oh, do people want to see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
There we go. So we're coloring this image black. And we're going to put a white circle. The bright white, like filled in like that.
I think that's what they're. Yeah, I think that's what they mean. Or maybe do a small one and then do an open one. Or sorry, do a solid and then an open.
Got you. So like this with this,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll increase that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, and white. We'll do a couple. So we'll do that. And then we'll do what happens if we do blue.
Even like throw in a PNG planet from Google.
Let's try that though first.
Okay.
So we're gonna go File, Save. No, let's save as. Okay. So that's saved, and now we'll go back over here, and we're going to Photo Forensics, and we're gonna upload. Choose file.
Yeah, and they said if it does the same as the pics, like the Saturn pics, then it's a created picture, not taken with a camera.
I don't even know if it's that, but let's see.
Well, that's what that would.
I actually don't think we'll see that. Nope. See.
Oh my gosh! So then it's not even created then.
I wouldn't even
like
know
a-
what you would call it.
How did they do? Yeah, how?
That's
would
what I
they
said. I said I don't think anybody even knows how to make it
turn
not.
black.
Yeah, although this is interesting because now the outside is showing up, but not the inside. See, like this whole thing you would think would be white
Interesting.
because it's basically doing the same thing as the outlined one.
Totally.
Yeah, I'll play with this some more and see what I
Good
can
advice,
figure
though.
out because there's got to be something we can see what exactly is going on. I mean, look at these. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm seeing here, but like there's like little circles in here. I mean, for the most part, I think that most of their images are just telescope images. I know
Maybe
that's what
those
I
would
think
be
of at the
different then.
moon.
Maybe those would come up as different then.
Yeah, I don't know. If anybody's got any images that they've ever taken with their telescope, that'd be great to see what they do. Our telescope doesn't take images. I mean, look at this. Isn't that clouds?
Yeah, those might have been taken during the storm. I'm just saying. And
Doesn't
then
make
their
any sense.
telescope got all foggy.
Oops. So I'm just going through these one last time here. So anyway, I think there's something up. Again, if you go ask NASA, don't be surprised when they give you an answer. That's kind of the point of a deception. Believe me, they're not ever going to, you're not going to show up and say, NASA, what's going on with these pictures here? They're not showing up in ELA, and then they hand you the keys to the building and say, got us.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot. Man, we thought we were going to fool you guys for a long time.
Yep.
We didn't get away with it, so here's the building keys. This is how you launch the rockets. We'll see you guys later.
Mm-hmm.
It's never going to happen. You're going to have to be smart enough to figure it out on your own. That's the thing, is that people think for some reason that they don't understand how deceptions work or something. When I asked the question about why we get scuba divers who are in the practice pool with NASA astronauts, Charles Flat Earth Math said you should ask NASA why that is. And I told him, you don't understand that that's the people I'm saying are deceiving me. Why would I ask them? For instance, if you're going to
Yes,
go...
that's a big one for me.
Yeah, if you're going to go practice in space or practice for space, then you should practice in the dark because that's space is in the dark. Yet they have the lights in the pool turned on. So why don't they turn off the lights? Well, that should be easy because if they turned off the lights, then it would look like space. That's why they don't do it.
Yeah.
And why is there never a practice session with no scuba divers? Well, the reason why is because they need the scuba divers there. The scuba divers are their like life support. That's why I think they're there in space too, or in so-called space. Watch these stars here come across the screen. So they're moving like that,
Yeah.
and this tells you the time that they're being taken. Oh, now we got Saturn coming up. Saturn came in the picture. So yeah, to me, there's how would you see through stars like this?
Yeah, that's bad.
There can be no, there's not stars in front of you, in between you and the planet.
Maybe. Oh no, there wouldn't be. No, there wouldn't.
Maybe. This camera's a lot further out than they tell us. Yeah, this is just nonsense to me. And again, just take any one of these images and go pop it into the UL. Oops, this thing's flying across the screen. Copy image address. This will be my last one. Then we're done.
Okay.
And paste and upload. And that's what you get. That's disgusting.
So basically, all of the stuff that is being seen here, other than those distant stars, is being lit by our sun. Like that Saturn is being lit by our sun.
But not the star. Oh, yeah, besides the distant stars?
Yeah, that's what
Yes.
I said. Besides the stars,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, and like, so this would be when you're looking at like
Crazy.
the moon. This is an image of Titan. This would be.
What's happening?
How would you
there?
even see that?
What is there an eclipse going on over there right now?
Yeah, that's not the way that we see. Like, this would be a phase of the moon.
Yeah.
Do we
would
ever
have
see a moon like that?
Nope.
Then how can that be an image of Titan?
Not sure what that's supposed to be showing.
That's impossible.
Titan, like what?
Titan is the name of their moon.
What I mean, yeah, sorry, Titan. The view of Titan there, as in they're showing.
I have no idea. It doesn't
Yeah.
seem like it would make any sense.
They don't have any. That's another thing too. They don't have any like descriptions, or they do, but they're not.
No, it just
good.
tells you where it was pointed towards. This camera was pointed towards Saturn. The image was taken with a CO2
Yeah.
filter or whatever. But these just don't make any sense to me. And again, doesn't mean that it's just you should be smart enough to figure it out. I mean, people are gonna say, "Well, where's your papers? Where's your credentials? What college did you graduate from?" Well, I hope you understand that if I graduated from a college, I would believe all this stuff. If I went to 4 years of, graduate school or something like Neil deGrasse, well, then I'm going to believe that this stuff is all real. I'm not even going to think of questioning it.
Yeah.
But that is the problem, is that you need people who have the ability still to question these things, to say, hey, wake up. I mean, on Joe Rogan's show, when Joe Rogan asked what is the curvature that you would see in 1 mile, Neil deGrasse says the curvature drop or the gravity drop, which I don't even know what that means. Look at these things flying across the screen. It's funny. What was that one? That's like a ring. And then he says, no, curvature drop. And he says, well, let me think here. What would be the curvature drop in 1 mile? And he couldn't think of it. And anybody who's been looking at this for a week, questioning some of these things, knows how much drop is in a mile. It's in the equation. So if even Neil deGrasse won't question it or look into it enough to know what is the curvature drop and why people have such a problem with it, then they don't care about the truth. And this is the problem with science nowadays. It's not about the truth anymore. It's about whether or not you accept what you've been told to accept. What is this, soccer ball? Take this one.
Yeah, when someone has lied to you, when someone has shown themselves to be either criminal or having done shady shit in the past, are you gonna continue to trust them, or are you gonna trust any word they say? No, you're gonna be skeptical of things that they show you and tell you, and whatever. So that's all.
It's ridiculous.
Sorry, it's a
Look at this one, just completely disappears.
Yep.
The so-called moon, or whatever. This is
not a photograph.
Enceladus.
Nor
or
is it
something.
even created in RW paint, so I'm not sure what it is.
Look at the stars going around it and stuff. And
I mean, they just say. I mean, the photo forensics guy really just said it perfectly. The inconsistencies in all of their projects across the board.
Right. So somebody who's even in charge of photo forensics and probably understands it better than anybody, can't get a grasp on what NASA's doing because they don't stay consistent. I mean, these are just ridiculous. Oh, where's that going? Do you see that? This moon goes across the... Oops, come on. Toot, 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 toot.
Oh, nice.
Toot, 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 toot.
Cute.
Very cute. Bye. Oh! What is it? Look at it. Like going by the rings.
Oh my gosh. And the rings are like almost invisible themselves too.
Oh my goodness. Believe what you want. Trust who you want. But there's really nothing else in the world that the entire world could be deceived on something so easily as space. No one's been there. I mean, there's been 450 people that have ever been there. And if you don't think there's 450 people in this world that'll take money to lie to your frickin' face, you're very confused. If you put $100 on your kitchen table and had a party, probably half those people will take that $100 bill, no problem. Make it $1,000 bill. Make it $1 million bill. Make it $10 million. Make it, before you know it, everyone in that party will steal from you without even a care. And that should tell you something, that there's people out there that will do things for money that you may not think they would do. And then you might say, oh, well, not all the, they didn't fool 10,000 scientists that went to the moon. No, they didn't. That only 10 people needed to know what was going on. Everyone else there thought they were reacting to real data, thought they were getting real images and stuff across the computers. They would have no clue. In fact, they would be crazy to think it wasn't real. That's the thing. These guys who wait for a tone at Jupiter's, that Juno satellite that's in orbit of Jupiter right now. If you're a scientist who put together a satellite, you had to do the math involved. You had to put it all together. Look at this. That moon's going to hit the other one. Oh, saved. Just went underneath it. So, anyway, I think that people need to just look into it, and we can't do it all by ourselves. It's going to take some scientists out there, somebody with some intelligence, to really start asking questions and not just letting people get away with bullshit, which is what they're doing. This is nonsense. This is not real images from anywhere. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't jive. And they just figure by putting up 7,000 pages of this nonsense that people will get here and go, oh, it must be real.
Someone asked to show, and I think people are coming in a little later, to show a amateur photo on photo forensics again. Or because some people didn't see that. What would happen in photo forensics with the amateur photo?
Did we have one that we've taken or something?
Yeah. I'll just send it to you.
Yeah, sure.
Push bullet or something.
Look at that one.
Hold,
and again,
please.
I guess we could show real quick what we did on the ISS too, just a one more time.
So we can recap. Do a little recap.
So we're gonna put this in there one more time. Another picture of some moon.
Don't worry, guys.
Paste.
Again, one.
Upload URL.
Hold.
So I mean, this is not what you should see when you're next to this giant moon, and you.
If it's a real photograph, and if it's an honest, scientific, whatever.
Ridiculous. Let me pull up something here, like
I'm grabbing one real quick for you.
Ouch.
Campanella picture.
Moon image. All right, so I'm just grabbing a picture of the moon here. This one here looks legit. We've taken pictures like this.
Yep.
Copy image address, photo forensics, upload, paste. Okay, so this is just a picture of the moon from space.com, and I will promise you it will not disappear. Okay, so that's showing you, and actually you can actually see the spots on the moon that they stay. Okay, so this is what you should get, but we don't see that. We're seeing when we go to these pictures of Saturn. Let's go find something close to that. Oh, what is that? Okay. Look at this picture. What is that?
Oh, geez.
I guess that's the moon Enceladus or something. Copy image address. Let's go put this one in here and see what we get.
So I have this
Paste.
one here.
Upload.
It's like a little house.
So, this one here is just turning black. It's not disappearing, at least.
Yeah.
More than I could say for the other ones. The other ones are disappearing completely.
Oh, I just sent it myself. I'm stupid.
That doesn't look real.
Come
Copy
on.
image address.
What is it?
Let me put this one in. So we'll show you in 1 second. This morning we went out to catch the ISS fly over our heads. And hello? Oh. What do you think of that one? Pretty real looking, huh?
Looks real to me.
I think so too.
It's pretty legit.
Let me see the metadata on this one. Ah, they removed it. Losers, you almost had me saying it was a real picture, but now I don't think so.
Okay, and let's see.
Moon image. So let's
Here's
find
one.
a picture of the
I-
ISS and
okay.
show you what that looks like. Oh, go ahead, you can send it.
Okay.
And just send it push pull.
As long as I send it to the right person now.
Oh boy, ISS from ground. Let's try that. Because we certainly didn't see anything like. Oh, give me a break. This is hilarious. And I mean, look at this, like in Discover magazine. These people are like really saying, orbiter discovery approaching the International Space Station as seen from the ground. Let's go check this out. So now this one will have little squares around it. I can already tell you, as it's been added. There you go. See. So these things are added. And even if you could get closer to this image, you would see. You can actually see the squares around that. Is that supposed to be the shuttle? That's hilarious. That is so bad. Yeah, not real at all. You sent me something?
Mm-hmm. Trying to find a moon.
Okay, copy image address. Upload. Paste. Okay, so we're gonna look at this picture here. And this is just a regular image.
Yeah, it hasn't been edited at all. It's even the original size and everything. It's big. It's huge.
Yeah, it's taking a while to get the ELA on it. Come on. Yeah, that's what an image looks like when it's real.
Mm-hmm.
That you can see now. If I went in and tried to edit this, it would completely show up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should do that real quick, but
I sent you one of our moon photos too.
oh, thank you. Do I pick it here? Oops. This one. So we'll grab copy image address. So punch this one in.
Big one again.
It's huge, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's taking a while. So I'll have this one come up again. That's taking forever. There it goes. Okay, so see how like this is all smooth? This is how you can
All
tell when
across.
something all across. It looks like, it almost looks, and I don't know if you can see it from home, but it looks like it's like a matte finish, like a,
Yeah.
you know. And if you were to take this and edit it, usually it will show up real bright white.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that other image here? So let me take this, save image. Okay, and let me open this up. Open. Sort. Date. So I'm going to take this. Oh, I don't know if it'll be easy for me to find or not. Hopefully it goes. Nope. So I hate when it does that.
I know.
What's the name of it? Do you know?
Yeah, it's DSC 06107.
Sort by name. DSC.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm going to find this image here so I can edit it. DSC. I see DSC. DSC 06107?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll bring this up. So let me transition this so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so if I were to go into this image and
Go to image and like add a glow. So like image, or sorry, go to effect and like add glow or something. Mm-hmm.
colored or no?
Sure.
Okay, so just add a little bit of glow. But say we wanted to clean up some of these sides too that look like they're not really
Yeah.
balancing much. So if I took this and like swung this in a little bit, so let's say I squeeze these in. Just to show an example of what happens when you edit
Yeah.
an image. So this is what people can do, you know, when they talk about like airbrushing
Mm-hmm.
like a model's body or something, that they would take this little brush and take in the sides a little bit, add some abdomen, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there we've edited that little portion of that image.
Good.
So I'm going to save that. And let's get out of there. Oops, now I need to transition back over here. Okay, so we're going to go photo forensics, upload. And we'll grab that picture. Yeah, upload file. It's going to take 1 second. It's a big file. Okay. So, really, the only thing you can tell there is the color. I wish I can make this bigger. Can't make it bigger, huh?
You could do your browser size and make it zoom in. Oh, there.
Oh.
Like that.
And you just, that's the only thing you can see is that it's just, it's not as clean as the
You can
rest.
see there's some blue in there, some blue pixelies.
The blue pixels comes from the brightening. And then just down here, and again, it takes somebody who's got, like, this is their job. If you are going to court and somebody's going to prove that an image is real or not. And the most important factor to that is the metadata. It has to be, oh, there we go. So if somebody's looking through this, and again, we probably shouldn't have done the brightness just to show that somebody could follow this line and see if you had edited it. And you'll see here how there's like some clear markings, black markings.
Yeah.
But then there's not any over here, so somebody will be able to look at this and say it's consistent.
I
So,
just
that's all.
sent you some PNG stars if you want to like plop that on top and see what happens with the stars. If you add stars to the image.
To that moon image. See if they disappear. Look at this. What is that?
That's like water droplets.
What is that supposed to be?
The moon. They're one of their moons. Up close.
One of the many? Oops. Okay, so we're going to try and upload this one, then we'll go and just show you the ISS real quick, and that's it. Upload URL. That's not what's supposed to happen.
That's pretty.
So, anyway.
Now go to you can click on JPEG percentage or whatever. I always like to look at that.
Yeah, well, this one always says 75, and that's what the guy said, that it was taken at less than 75, so nothing's changing. Again, just to show everybody, this is the email I got from the owner of that site talking about metadata, and he says here, metadata contains no information for a NASA photo. This is surprising. I'm used to seeing at least some kind of metadata. Then again, I haven't seen the Cassini raw photos before. My issue with NASA is that they have zero consistency between projects, and I have an issue with them as well. So, anyway, we'll finish off with showing you one more time.
So, everybody's listening. NASA is lying to you, basically.
Basically, that's the story.
They're spending billions of dollars telling you that they're doing scientific truth and bringing you real space images when clearly we're showing this is not.
It's not happening.
They're inconsistent. They're not a trustworthy agency.
Source.
Source, right? So, and I know a lot of people say, well, I don't need NASA to know the Earth is round, or to know the Earth is a globe, or to know that space is real. But you don't? You'd be able to realize on your own by looking at the stars that are billions of miles away? I don't think so. Okay, let's be honest with ourselves.
Let's be honest with ourselves that because of the moon landing, again, I base it all on that. If we went to the moon, then I believe everything they've ever said. They know how gravity works. They know how far the sun is. They know how far all the planets are. They know how orbits work. They know everything. If we didn't go to the moon because they lied to us, then they can't even get far away from the Earth to take a picture of it. They can't even get that far away, which means everything else that they're giving you is a lie, including the pictures of Saturn. And then you ask yourself, well, why are they charging us? I think it was $3.5 billion to make that Cassini mission. $58 million of that for tracking. Tracking what? Nothing went there. Nothing's there. Nothing's taking images. Therefore, it would cost them $5 million to pay me to sit at my computer and generate fake images all day, 7,000 pages worth, and somebody pocketed the rest of the $58 million. That's how easy it is to fool people and steal money from them. And that's crazy. I'll rewind this just a second. You can see those are actually the so-called moons of Jupiter. Again, does that mean they are moons of Jupiter? That they have moons that are actual
Orbiting,
terraform,
a big
orbiting?
giant gas planet?
Doesn't certainly seem like it to me. Okay, so here comes the ISS. It appears right over these two streetlights. And we kept zooming in, trying to get the image that people see of it, so it kind of looks like the ISS. We've never been able to see that. It always looks like a little dot. As it started to come over our head, right when it gets over here, it does some weird ducking and diving and jiving. This one here is interesting. Watch closely and watch it. See how it went to the right? That wasn't the camera. Watch it go to the right. Whoop,
Yeah, and you
Just
can
starts
tell
randomly
by
going out.
actually the
whoop, go-
yeah, the telephone lines help with showing that it's not my
Yeah,
camera.
it's not the
doing
camera
it.
moving. So it's not even going
Look at that,
consistently.
oh my god, that's crazy.
It's going in different directions and different speeds. We saw it speed up, slow down.
Whoa, where's it going? Holy cow!
Sometimes it is the camera, but not
Sometimes it
always.
is, but you just gotta use
We
your
can see
head.
we're trying to zoom in there and get any kind of that little image. It's just a bright light. We're not seeing anything. This is me starting to shine the laser on it.
Or towards it.
Towards it. Well, I'm trying to get on it as best as I can, but
Well, I mean, whether it's 100,000 feet up or 250 miles up, you know, you would
trying to come somewhat close to
Yeah, your
at least-
laser wouldn't hit it. I don't think it would deflect. What's it called? It would get wide.
It would get wide, but you'd be able to see. I think from oops, that's
What
a
is
nice little turn I made.
The
Look at that. Watch this. Woo-doo. That's not the camera.
no.
Whee!
Whoa, hello. Where's it going?
That is crazy.
Where? What's the distance of the laser supposedly that they say?
I don't know. It says it was 3 times more powerful than the one that went 4 miles. I mean, so I guess that means 12 miles. But this is the oops. This is what we were taping from the screenshot at the time. So you can see that here it comes to go right over our heads. And here's the view. Again, it's not seeing my blue laser at all,
No.
which I think it would see a little something, at least a little flash or of some type. But even bigger than that is the fact if you just saw the sky, which was completely and totally clear.
0 clouds.
And when we go here, you're going to see this is right when they started to go over us, and this is what you get. So where is this sky? Where is this? So you're talking about that, and this is what we see. Do you see clouds? Any? This is a perfectly clear day. We could easily see it without a doubt. And it actually looks like he's trying to get away from that laser. It's hilarious.
Yeah, so that's the biggest. That should be a big.
Yeah,
if,
the
if
biggest
not
thing.
the red flag for people to just be like, wait, they should be
God,
showing
that's-
exactly what's below them if they're up there in the sky, because we're right below them and they're not showing a clear blue sky or a clear sky.
I don't understand this part here because you're not zooming in. I can see the part of the roof here. How does it go backwards?
It does. It absolutely goes backwards. It's really weird. It starts to get weird right about here.
So I'm trying to look. So right here, you can see the part of the roof come in right here, and then it stays there.
And then as I move back, it goes even further back the opposite direction. So that's
So
not
what does
how-
that mean? Is it adjusting based on...
I'm not sure what, but it's not. There's that.
I mean, right here, look at it. It would have to still be going this way. You're staying on the same part of the roof.
And then watch as I go towards the house a little bit more. Oh,
Oops, we
whoops,
lost
that's
it.
the end.
So anyway, and then we look here again and again. There's no clouds.
Yeah.
Look at the day.
Look at that. 0 clouds.
It is completely clear.
Mm-hmm.
Even at the beginning of the tape, when you see us look to the east, where the sun's rising, it is completely the clearest day it's been.
That laser is so strong.
The best view we've had at the ISS forever.
Mm-hmm.
And
we've seen it a couple times.
Seen it a
in
couple
our
times.
lifetime. We've even seen a ghost one of it too. Remember?
yeah, we actually, that's why I think there's more than one that kind of skip ahead of each other. That's how they keep us confused, because it was like 10 minutes after this one went by, we saw another one
Going the opposite.
going the opposite direction. Well, it was kind of cutting across.
Yeah, perpendicular. to
Almost like it was trying to get ahead of it.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, if you've got this going on with a completely clear sky, then somebody needs to explain to me how this is what's seen from the ISS.
At the very same time. Yeah.
Same exact time. This is not the sky. This is completely fake.
Yeah.
This is not the sky above the United States right here,
Mhm.
or
At that-
California.
this morning, that's not how it looked. Nope.
So they're just I don't know what they're providing us, but it certainly is not the same
So
image as
instead
we're
of
given.
defending them, maybe people who trust them should go and look into it.
That's all we ask. Look into it, and if you want to believe it, believe it. But don't get mad at me for asking questions, because that's what science is. It isn't simply going around parading how great NASA is and how we're all idiots for questioning what people have known for thousands of years. That's not science.
No, sorry.
Science is questioning what we were told has been discovered thousands of years ago and realizing it's not.
Yeah.
That's how you find the truth.
Yep.
Not by repeating.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, guys, till next time.
Till next time.
This has been jeranism. Peace.
3, 2, 1,
Houston, we have a problem.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
What you're seeing here is a mirage.